everyone, it's Crochet by Beb. Welcome to my channel. Hope you are doing fine today. For this video tutorial, we're going to make an inspired Enid'S Snood. It is very simple pattern. It works with double crochet. I use 3 colors or 3 shades of pink. In my snood, the yarn that I use a lightweight yarn and double wool to make it bulky, my stitches. But if you have a bulky yarn, you can use that. So I will show to you how to do the double pull into the next clip. For the materials, I use 3 shades of pink. But you can use any color you would like to make your snood, and it is a lightweight yarn, and I just double pull to work my stitches, and I use 9mm hook, tape measure, scissors, and yarn needle. For your measurement reference, my snood is 62 circumference and it has a total of 145 stitches, but you can make it longer if you would like, so at least 60 inches to start. And this is 12 inches long or 30.5 centimeters, and it is 15 rounds. And yes, you can make it longer or wider, it's up to you, depends in your preference. So the stitches is very simple, all double crochet. I started here with the chainless double crochet, and we work here as a round. So we're going to slip stitch into the beginning stitch and then chain 2 and then turn your work. So we're going to work as a round in here. I will explain furthermore and show you how to do that into the next clips. Okay, so before we start, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you are working my tutorial and want to show your work with me, you can share it in my Instagram at Crochet by Beb. And yes, hope you will enjoy making your snood, and let's start. Alright, so let's start. I'm going to use these 3 shades of pink. You can use any kind of color you would like. You can mix and match your colors. I have these 3 shades of pink in my stash, so I will use them for my snood. And these are number 3 or lightweight yarn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 2 strands to work my stitches, and I'm going to use 9mm hook, as you can see. This actually I just bought this to make my snood because I need a bigger one. So finally I have a 9mm hook and 8mm hook. This is not sponsored, but I'm going to use this to make my snood. And the recommended hook size is 4.5, so I just round it up because I'm going to pull 2 strands to work, so I will going to use 9mm hook. So what we're going to do is we're going to work rows of double crochet. So I already started, and this is a chainless double crochet, so I'm going to show you that. But if you prefer to work first with a long chains and then make a double crochet for your first row, and then I will work as a round, so I'm going to slip stitch every row and then chain 2 and turn my work. So I'm going to work like that. So I'm going to show you first how to start with the chainless double crochet, and again, if you prefer to work long chains, you can do that and then work double crochet. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to start with the chainless double crochet. So I'm just going to use this light pink just to show you because I already started in here my row 1. So just make a slip knot and insert your hook and then chain 2 and then yarn over, insert your hook into the first chain and then grab a yarn over, pull through 1 to make a chain, and then yarn over, pull through 2 and then pull through 2. So you have your first double crochet done. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into the chain that you made, these 2 loops at the bottom, then grab a yarn, pull through 1 to make a chain in here, and then pull through 2 and then pull through 2. You have your 2 double crochet done. So you're going to count your stitches. Start here. So this one chain and here doesn't count as a stitch, okay? So you're going to start this. So you can see this is the double crochet, first double crochet, and this is your stitch. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into the chain or these two loops at the bottom. Grab a yarn, pull through one to make your chain, and then two, and then two. 3 double crochets done. Yarn over, insert hook, grab a yarn, pull through one and two and two. Okay, so you're going to repeat this until you reach the wide of our snood. So I suggest to make at least 60 inches long of this double crochet. So for me, I think this is 62 or 63 inches because it's more than 60 inches when I measured it, and I have a total of 145 double crochet. So you just use your tape measure and measure that. So I can't show you here because it's very long. So at least 60 inches. But if you would like a more wider or more longer one, you can make more than 60 inches. Okay. And one more thing. It is very stretchy, this stitch, so consider that also when you are doing your first row. Alright, so when you are done your long double crochet or your row one, at least 60 inches long or wide, and now we're going to slip stitch into the beginning double crochet or beginning stitch. So before slip stitching, make sure it's not twisting. So here is my last stitch, and then to slip stitch, find your first stitch here and then slip stitch, and then we're going to make a chain 2, and then this chain 2 I don't count as a stitch. As you can see here, they are not connected, these corners, so we're going to use the tail just to connect these ends together or these corners together later. So I want to turn my work every row, but if you prefer to work or to make your stitches work only into the right side of your work, you can start your double crochet here into your first stitch, but I prefer the look of my stitches by turning every row. So I'm going to turn my work like this and then into my first stitch. So here, don't confuse with your slip stitch. So this is the slip stitch. You can use a stitch marker as your guide if you are confused with your last stitch, but you can see it here. So this is my last double crochet, so this is the stitch. You can hold that and turn your work, so meaning you're going to start in here. So this is the slip stitch, so don't be confused. Okay, so that is my first stitch, and work your double crochet and then continue double crochet into all the stitches all the way around, and then when we reach here into our last stitch, we're going to slip stitch again into the first double crochet and then chain 2 and then turn work. But if you are not turning your work, it's totally fine. Okay, okay, so continue double crochet. So the sequence of your colors, it's up to you also. You can do every 2 rows of this color and then change with the other color. So I'm going to use this. I will add these colors later, so I'm not yet decided if it's 2 rows of this color and then 2 rows, every 2 rows I will change, or every 3 rows. So now I'm going to finish my second row, and I will coming back to show you once more again how to slip stitch and work the next row. Alright, so continue. Okay, so again, I'm going to show you how to do the slip stitch. So here is my last double crochet into the last stitch. So find your first stitch, which is this. So this is the chain 2. I don't count as a stitch. Alright, so this is my first stitch. So just slip stitch your work in there and then chain 2 and turn. So just hold. Where's your last stitch? This. Just hold and turn, and then work in there your first double crochet. So as simply as that, 2 slip stitches, and to join your row together. So this way we don't need to sew the sides together, but yeah, if you prefer to work rows and then later you just fold your work and then sew, you can do that also, but I prefer like this, so I don't need to sew the ends together or the sides. Alright, so I'm going to finish this row and then coming back to show you when I'm going to change my yarn into the next color. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to change color. So I'm going to use this just to show you. So here into your last stitch, when you're going to change color, work your double crochet on finish and then hold your yarn like that, grab your new color and finish your double crochet and drop the tail. Make sure this drop color put into the wrong side of your work, so the wrong side is there for me, so like that, and then slip stitch and then continue your stitch. Just chain 2 and turn, and this is the slip stitch. So into your first stitch, work your double crochet and continue. Just easy like that, how to change color. Okay, and then when you reach here, just slip stitch. If you want to continue again with this color, just do your chain 2 and then continue your double crochet, and then if you want to change again, just insert. Or you can carry this color if you want to alternate colors, just carry it up or pick it up later in here when you do your next row. Okay, so I'm going to work now my rows and then coming back to show you how many rows I did, maybe at least 15 rows, but I will going to show you how many inches of that later. All right, so continue doing your rows like this. It's super simple, just slip stitch, chain 2 and turn, and then double crochet all around and then continue like that. Okay, so I'm coming back later. Alright, so I'm done my snood and this is how it look like. As you can see the colors, and this is 12 inches long or 30.5 centimeters, and it is 15 rows or rounds. But if you would like a longer one, you can do that. But for me, this is the length that I would like for my snood. So if you want more or if you want to make it more longer, just continue. And then when you are in your last stitch, so this is my last stitch. So just finish your double crochet and then don't slip stitch into the beginning stitch. So just cut it, just make a bit of long tail. So remove your hook, grab your yarn needle, and then we're going to make an invisible end. So to do that, to make an invisible end, put your hook in here. And then insert here in the middle just to create the same with the stitch. It's going to be look like that, so you have an invisible end. And then fasten up your yarn. Just make sure it fasten up into the stitches. For me, I always make a small knot just to make sure it fasten off well here into the stitches. Alright, so when you are done, just cut your yarn here and do this also into the beginning. This tail, you can use that to make your invisible end here. And when you are done that, just weave all your ends and we are done with our snood. Alright, so when you are done weaving all your ends and make your tassels, so thank you so much again for joining me, and please take care everyone. Happy crochet. Bye.